Welcome back to Moonlight Reel. For today's non-video video, I'm going to be doing some reading of content that was posted on the Winx Club 4kids.com website. They had wonderful things, they had blogs for all the characters, and they had, best of all, the Althea Library, which had books. Very short books, but books. And this is one of the books. It's called the Amorphus Potion. And I'm going to read it out, and then at the end I will talk about it a little bit more and tell you about where it fit in the story. This is the Amorphus Potion, posted by Flora in the Althea Library. Flora writes, "I found this great potion in an old book, and I wanted to share it with you." Beginning the book, Chapter 1, What is the Amorphous? In its simplest definition, the amorphous potion and spell are meant to transform into love. The amorphous should be used in times of unrest or when the potion maker notes a dull view of the world around them. Frequently, the potion maker will want to combat conflict, evil, and a weakened sense of wonder at the realms. The amorphous potion and spell are known to have spontaneous results. The spontaneity of the Amorphous Potion is shown in the affected being's reactions, interactions, and also through the potion itself. In most cases, the Amorphous Potion must be used in conjunction with an amorphous spell. However, in rare circumstances, a small explosion occurs from the potion. A small yellow hic in the potion typically foreshadows this. In the most unusual of circumstances, the love put into the potion will result in a massive explosion of the potion, and an extreme version of the usually tame amorphous will occur. The creators of the Amorphous Potion were tired of the old and worn ways that fairies, witches, people, and all creatures of the realms were seeing the worlds around them. They were tired of the stark, stale view, with the lack of connection with the environment, experiences, and simple joy in the realms. They created the Amorphous in a hope to remind people of the wonders of the worlds around them, the importance of their individual contributions, and the value of their creative experiences in the realms. A properly brewed amorphous potion will result in a spontaneous outpouring of strong emotions in those impacted by the spell. These outpourings will show the true emotions and natural temperament of the people involved. The people involved will vary depending on how the spell and potion are created. If created traditionally, only those who participate in the spell will be changed. However, in the very rare occurrence of an amorphous potion explosion, said to be one of the rarest magical events possible, there is no telling how many people might be changed and how these changes might impact them. While the results of the amorphous can frequently be unpredictable, the impacted people will discover a new and spontaneous freedom in their experiences in the realms. The results of this are often profound and irreversible. Historically, those impacted have recorded imaginative impulsiveness, originality of thought, and great wonder at the realms around them. They express extremes of emotions and are delighted by what they describe as new eyes that view the realms without bias, judgment, or negativity. However, if the amorphous potion explodes, this impulsive love can be highly unpredictable, and can even result in those with typically loving personalities discovering something darker within themselves. Caution must always be used. Chapter 2, How the Amorphous is Made. The most important elements to making an effective amorphous potion are dedication, patience, and above all, love. It is impossible to create a potion that spreads a loving perspective if every element of the potion is not treated with a loving hand. First, the key ingredients of Harian Gamelion, Barrett leaf, and Browning root must be collected. While not widely available, these ingredients should be available from any fine potion shop. There's an editor's note. While these ingredients were widely available when this text was first published, modern magical laws have made the ingredients hard to come by, if not banned in many realms. In addition, Barrett leaf and Browning root are extremely rare in the modern world. Once collected, steep the Harian gambelian in a large potions pot for 3 to 4 hours, or until the room is perfumed with its exotic scent. Next, take 1 pinch of berret leaf in the right hand, and 1 pinch of browning root in the left hand, and at the exact same moment sprinkle the ingredients over the potion, moving your hands in a clockwise direction. The direction of your hand's movement to match the motion of a clock ticking forward is very important, as it begins to move the potion forward in time toward a more loving future. Continue to add berret leaf and browning root in this manner every 6 to 8 hours for the next 4 days. Once brewed, all those participating in the spell must drink 1 cup of the potion, repeat the spell together, and then drink 2 more cups of the potion. The potion will taste different for each participant, as it will taste good and comforting to her, and this taste is different for all of us. The Amorphous Potion and spell will begin to work immediately. Depending on the strength of the potion, the spell will last for 1 to 3 weeks. The only exception to this is in the rare chance that the potion explodes. Should this happen, there is no possible way to predict how long the effects of the Amorphous will last. Potion maker's note: be warned! Adding more berret leaf and browning root to the potion can have very volatile results. Unless the potion maker is entirely confident in her abilities, it is recommended to use only the suggested amount of berret leaf and browning root. The results of adding more are dependent on when the additions are made, who makes them, their intentions in making these additions, and the overall combination of these elements. Results could mean disaster. See Chapter 4, The Problems with the Amorphous, for more information. Chapter 3, The History of the Amorphous. The Amorphous Potion was based on the melding of the life works of 6 colleagues who shared a vision to spread a more connected view of the world that is around all of us. It was originally referred to by its working name of Love Potion Number 10, but the name Amorphous was adopted after their true desire to create a potion to change into love was revealed. William, Taylor, George, Shelley, John, and Blake all wanted to create a potion that would transform the way that fairies, witches, and all creatures of the realms saw the world around them. They wanted to change their view to one of love of their fellow creatures, realms, experiences, and gifts they have to share with the realms. Above all, they wanted to share an appreciation of all the experiences and all that we can learn from them. The 6 bound together to share their thoughts on freedom of imagination, care for the environment around them, individuality, and the joy in the spontaneity that life provides. They wanted to create a potion that would allow others to see the realms with the same simple joy as they saw, allowing all beings to break from the conventions of how they previously saw the realms, and now to see with love. Each of the creators added into the energy of the potion a unique characteristic they thought was important to the Amorphous. William wanted those impacted by the Amorphous to have a renewed connection with nature and the realms, and an appreciation of the simple aspects of the world around us. Taylor thought that you could be transformed to love through meditation on that which surrounds us. Much like a young fairy might come into better contact with her Winx, Taylor saw love and appreciation through careful meditation on what is important to us. George was a funny character with a larger-than-life personality. He wanted people under the Amorphous to take on this gregarious nature. For some, this personality is one beyond what might be expected or assumed to something more, something purer, or perhaps an artificial creation of self. This outgoing version is perhaps the element of each fairy that adds to the courage to achieve her charmix. Shelley saw eternal truths in the realms and thought that the Amorphous should bring these truths to light. For some fairies and witches, this could be a fundamental truth about herself that she was previously unaware of. John was eager for the Amorphous to remind people about the urgencies of in life, the importance to know all, see all, and experience all that we can, and enjoy the richness of our senses in these experiences. For many fairies, this urgency can be felt when she receives her charmix, as it is then that she finds a fundamental truth about herself, and courage to experience her magic purely. Blake was a man of great imagination, and he wanted this imagination passed on to those impacted by the Amorphous. He wanted them to see the fineness of the line between good and evil and darkness and light. In extreme versions of the Amorphous, this line between who is truly good and who is truly evil can be blurred. With a knowledge of what they wanted infused into the Amorphous Potion, William, Taylor, George, Shelley, John, and Blake used incredible magic to ensure that when the combination of Harrian Gambellion, Barrett Leaf, and Browning Root come together, their energies would be released, and those affected by the spell would see the world through the new eyes of love the 6 great minds intended. Chapter 4. The Problems. In its usual form, the Amorphous spell and potion are incredibly tame. The only exception, however, occurs when the potion is exploded. As mentioned in previous chapters, once an Amorphous potion explodes, the affected people, witches, and fairies find themselves in incredibly peculiar circumstances. For some, they will find their usual dark and sometimes evil personalities changing to light and loving personalities. For most, this is thought to be a change for the better. They find themselves in a new appreciation of the realms and capable of true love and understanding with fellow creatures. However, there have been documented cases where usually loving and caring fairies are turned to darkness and evil. Their natures as kind and sweet are thought to have been an illusion that even they are fooled by. After the Amorphous is able to take hold of them, and to turn them to darkness it sometimes can take several days, they find their true identity even if it is evil. In both cases, historians have decided that the changes are changes to the witch or fairy's true self. Through the power of the Amorphous, they find who they truly are and what their nature truly is. While a dramatic change in any case, it is always thought to be preferable to act as one's true self. It is, however, sometimes only possible to discover who this is after being affected by this extreme version of the Amorphous Potion. The only exception to these problems with the Amorphous Potion is the impact of the Howland effect, which we will discuss in our next chapter. Chapter 5. The Howland Effect. For generations, the Howland Effect has been a mysterious result to the very strongest Amorphous potions. Known to reveal true identities and natures, the Howland Effect brings forward a witch, fairy, hero, or any other creature's true self. While the Amorphous can enlighten a creature to other elements of her nature, the Howland reveals the honest truth of that nature. Many people have praised the Howland Effect for bringing forward their true nature, while some have cursed it for turning their friends dark. Witches have become warm and loving, and fairies dark and evil, but one thing is certain. The Howland Effect brings the truth of someone's character. If a witch or fairy is tricked or forced into drinking the Amorphous Potion and performing the spell, the Howland Effect would eventually reveal this truth. The effects of the Amorphous would diminish, and the Howland Effect would result in their return to their true nature. The Howland could also combine with the Amorphous to create a permanent and profound change in character, which often occurs when fairies turn to their true dark nature. In essence, the Howland Effect protects creatures from trickery, deception, and false love. It can, however, reveal true darkness that some find frightening. It must be known, though, that there are some who are at their core truly evil. The Howland Effect will always reveal this darkness in witches and also in fairies. So that's the end of the official reading of the book that Flora posted about the Amorphous Potion. And now, as myself, I can tell you why this was there. So, on the 4Kids website, all of the characters did character chants. Bloom and Stella and all of the Winx did them, and I think Sky may even have done one. And then, at one point, a point I don't remember because I didn't save all of the blogs, Flora posted this, and the Winx started mixing up the Amorphous Potion. And you could tell, you could read in their blogs, each of the Winx snuck in and added more Barrett Leaf and Browning Root. They each posted in their blogs, "Oh, I didn't think it was enough, I snuck in." So all 6 of them added extra ingredients. And then the potion exploded. And why did they do this? Because the chat with Icy, Darcy, and Stormy was coming up. The writers of the website content knew they had to have a chat with the witches, but of course they couldn't have the witches, saying evil, mean things to all the kids in the chat. So the writers made up this Amorphous Potion idea. And so then when the tricks were in their chant, they were all, oh, everything is wonderful, life is grand, we're so nice. And that's what they did for their chant. And then, of course, this book includes the Howland effect, which eventually returns people to their true personality, to explain why the tricks, after having been all hearts and flowers, eventually return to their true evil selves for the next season, or maybe the second half of season 3. So I think this stuff was posted either between season 2 and season 3, or during the kind of long mid-season break that they had in the middle of season 3. So it's 05 or 06, I think, is the year. And that's what it was. This was part of the story that that 4Kids hired to make on the website to kind of fill in the spaces when we weren't having any new episodes. And I think it's pretty cool. The writers of all of this lovely stuff were not actually 4Kids employees. It turned out that 4Kids hired a company called Bash Bang Productions. This is a wonderful name, and I just found out about them like 4 days ago, that they are the ones who actually wrote all of this wonderful stuff that I had been planning to read on here. So I sent them an email and said, oh, please tell me stories about all of the website stuff that you guys wrote, because I want to know, like, who wrote it and how they wrote it and what they researched. I want to know all this stuff. So hopefully the people from Bash Bang Productions will get back to me and I will have cool insider information about the 4Kids website stuff. But for now, that's all I have. Sadly, the Amorphous Potion is not a potion that you could probably make, because Barrett Leaf and Browning Root I don't think exist on the world of Earth. But maybe you could make it with some alternative ingredients. Something to make the world look a little more exciting to you. And in fact, turning things to love and making the world look more interesting and cool, that's a good goal, and that's my goal in even having this YouTube channel. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will stay tuned for more magical things, books, 4Kids website stuff, all the goodies. Stay tuned, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye!